I'll see you in the land of Mordor. Death awaits you at the border. Pass on through the gates of fun, destroy the ring of power and wonder.
Hey, Lord of the Rings strategy battle game fans, Roman Daisel is back here with another box set from Games Workshop. Today we're looking at In the Clutches of Shelob. Now I bought this from my buddy Sean way back. He was looking to get rid of stuff. I paid $60 for this box set plus 2 Ents and something else. I forget what it was, a loose figure. So it's a pretty good deal. I probably should have gave more money for it, I think, in the long run. But anyway, this came unpainted, unglued, so it all came in all in pieces, loose, in the box. And what do we got? You get Shelob, the child of Ungoliant. You get Sam with his backpack like Jumanji style. Looks like Moose Finbar. He's got Sting ready to stab, and he's got the vial of Galadriel in the other hand. Then you got Frodo, who is wrapped up and useless as hell. And then I also put Gollum in, but he's the Emyn Muil Gollum. He doesn't come with this box set, but he should be there. So these pieces are all metal. Frodo and Sam are easy to paint. There's not much to do with Frodo because he's just laying there useless as tits on a bowl. I wish they had made Frodo. I wish they had added a Frodo who was running around like he's cutting down spider webs. But no, they put him in a pose after Shelob stings him and starts wrapping him up. So you can see nothing special. There's Sting. He's got his backpack on, like Moose Finbar. And he's got the vial of Galadriel in one hand. Couldn't make it any brighter. And then we got Frodo all wrapped up and nice and neat. Shelob, on the other hand, looks pretty cool. Unfortunately, because she's metal, there were only little grooves for her legs to attach her legs to, which really sucked. I would have preferred they had little pins and holes to make it sturdy. It took forever to get their legs just kind of right. And gluing, I did a pretty good glue job. Like, it's not perfect. Metal is a little harder, more porous. But I made sure that her underbelly had that ghastly look, pale look. So she is pretty badass. She's in a classical spider move. She is a demonic spirit, a lesser Mire, thanks to her mother Ungoliant. So unfortunately, Frodo is not moving. So the scenario would be Gollum attacks Sam, which happens in the book. And then Sam, seeing Shelob, he gets all enraged and goes into his fighting mode. And he dances around her. He goes up to her, he stabs one of her eyes, he cuts off one of her legs, like one of the lesser legs, gets underneath, starts scoring the underbelly. Shelob is in agony, but she sees that Sam is right underneath her abdomen, so she rears up her abdomen, and then thrusts it down, hoping to crush the life out of Sam. But Sam's got Sting held point up, kind of like Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars posters. You see him up there with a sword. You know, the classic pose on the posters, movie posters. So Sam's like that, and Shelob impales herself on Sting. And it just drives her nuts, and so she tears it out of her and runs away to hide in the tunnels. So she really is out of the fight. And then Sam goes back and, does his stuff with Frodo. Thinks Frodo's dead, so he takes the ring, takes all the stuff, leaves Frodo alone. So how could you play the scenario? You make a little maze. I made this little maze out of styrofoam I had kicking around and some wood. I also have well, it's not a tower. It's supposed to be the Tower of Cirith Ungol, but it is just the ruins of Dol Guldur. So you can make this maze, put Shelob on one end, Frodo and Sam on the other end, and have Gollum somewhere in the middle, watching and waiting. Where you take turns, roll to see who controls Gollum. And you see which way you go through the maze. So you see if you can escape Shelob. So that's one scenario you can play. The other scenario is obviously or Sam versus Gollum and Sam versus Shelob. Or you could do something else. You could have Shagrat and Gorbag show up. This was a blister set I got from Fan of the Sport. Paid $13 for the two. And it's pretty badass. Gorbag comes up from Minas Morgul. He's got sent up because the Nazgul feeling easy, so they send his company up to investigate. Well, Shagrat is the commander of the forces of Cirith Ungol. So he has his own company. And you can have these two find Frodo and Sam. Instead of Shelob, make it those guys. And you can give them some fierce Orcs to play with. So my Orcs also came in a blister pack of 4. Paid $13 again. Fan of the Sport. The guy at Fan of the Sport used to have this huge collection of Lord of the Rings stuff from Games Workshop, and it took me about 2.5 years to pick through it, hoping to hell that no one else would take any. Occasionally somebody would come in and buy something, but for the most part, I picked it all. If I had the money, I would have bought it outright. So anyway, I got those from there. Now these guys are all metal, and they're a little harder to paint. These were some of the first figures I got, so my painting job kind of sucks. They should have been a little bit darker looking. But the Orcs are fun to play with. They're the first troops that saw on bread that could stand up to the Dunedain. Everything, all the common orcs, the Dunedain overpower easily. Unlike Peter Jackson's movies where every orc seemed to be able to beat a Dunedain. So you can easily have these guys go through the tunnels and try and find Sam and Frodo. Or you could have them hunt down Shelob, or have Shelob hunt them. You know, whatever you want to do through the maze. Or you have them when they find Frodo, take him back to Cirith Ungol, and then Sam tries to follow them. And once you get to Cirith Ungol, you'd have the fight scene where Gorbag and Shagrat argue over Frodo's mithril coat. Gorbag tries to pinch it. Shagrat ends up killing him or wounding him severely, and the two companies fight. They do all Sam's dirty work for him. Lucky for Sam. So that's the scenarios you could play with this. You could also have, after the Lord of the Rings, you could have some elves and Dunedain go hunt Shelob. Not exactly advisable, but in her weakened state, it would be better to kill her down. So there's a couple of options with this scenario. And of course, Sam's got the ring, so you can have Sam trying to avoid them and get off the board. Any of you guys who play Lord of the Rings strategy battle game, let me know if you guys have this box set and how you were able to play with it. Leave comments in the comment section, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Until next time, I am Roman Daisel. I am out of here.